Now that I have found her along the way, now that I have found you,
First, we gotta start with the SAT. How did you study for the SAT?
How I study for the SAT, I use Khan Academy. Khan Academy had like this free little like day joint where you got a free passage every day. You do that leading up to the test.
Word.
That's what I did.
Facts.
My school didn't really have like SAT classes.
Yeah.
And my parents wasn't really paying for SAT classes, so that's what I did. You know what I mean?
Facts.
How you study?
I ain't studying. Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I bought a couple books. I bought like 3-4 books. And this is again, I'm self-studying, so discipline is hard. Like I'm still playing sports. I'm still trying to chill. This is my junior year. I just got a whip. Like I'm outside. Like I'm not really.
It's a SAT.
Yeah, SAT. Like, but the SAT is important. It is important at that stage. So I didn't study for it, but I did good enough to get me accepted into some college. I got accepted to TCNJ, right, the College of New Jersey up in UNC. I got accepted to Morehouse, Howard. I got accepted to where I wanted to go to. They just wasn't throwing no bread for real. Like that was the biggest thing. And I feel like that was the biggest factor for me trying to figure out where I wanted to go to college. Because honestly, so like I said, I went to TCNJ and I didn't even tour the school for real. I saw a financial aid package. I said, okay, my God, 2,000 versus 15. Say less, I'm going with TCNJ.
See, y'all talking money. I like that.
Nah, for real. So signing papers, gossip, and I'm like, facts. But so where'd you go and why?
So I ended up going to Rowan University, and why. So you want me to talk a little bit about the SAT a little bit more?
Yeah, so I'll start there.
So SAT, I took it twice. Not because it was necessarily a bad grade, but low key for the money. So my mom's was like, you can go wherever you want, as long as it's cheap.
Right.
The cheapest places where you gonna go. So I was like, word. So there was a particular school that I was trying to get into, and I really liked it. I ain't never toured it. I seen it from pictures. I like the pictures. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and go there. Took it the first time. I had the GPA to qualify for like this next bracket of the scholarship, but I didn't have the SAT score.
Yeah.
So I was like, word, I'm gonna retake my SAT score, or I'm gonna retake my SAT and hopefully get into that next bracket.
Okay.
Took it again. Got into that second, like that bracket for the money.
Yeah.
They ain't sent over my SAT.
I was the type. Somebody paying me money. What I'm leaving with something.
I'm from around the way.
I'm leaving with something.
I don't know if it was something I did or whatever, but they never, like my SAT score never got sent to the school, so they never offered me that other scholarship package.
That's crazy.
So I got accepted to. So I should preface this by saying like my guidance counselor in high school blessed up, so she provided me a waiver where she was like,
waivers are tough.
Waivers are tough. So application fees, all of them waived.
Yeah.
I just started applying places. Bro, I was applying.
Sure.
Bro, I was just applying. So I applied to maybe like 20 schools, got into like 18 of them.
Right.
Almost any school you could think of in Jersey.
Facts.
I got accepted to Hampton. I got accepted to Virginia Union.
Yeah.
University of Pitt. I was just applying wherever. But I ended up going to Rowan because, so for me, my dad worked there. And so again, that ties it back to my mom saying, you gonna go where the money is.
The money, right.
So since my dad worked at Rowan, I didn't have to pay tuition.
Yeah.
It was just room and board. So
facts.
Where else you getting no tuition? You know what I mean?
Nah, fact. I don't even think I applied to Rowan. I don't know why though. Because I heard Rowan was kind of lit, at least from TCNJ, because this is like South Jersey. Now we talking. So we used to like hear about y'all parties and be like, nah, we going to Rowan parties tonight. But so facts, like what was your first impression? Because I'll tell you my first impression. What was your first impression, though, when you got on campus? Because Rowan is a PWI.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So, again, I should not even preface it, but already said, my dad worked there. So, I've been around the campus a lot.
Did you have pool because your dad worked there? Like, were you able to, like juice it, like, man, my pot, like, were you coming like that or not?
A little bit. Like, faculty.
Wait.
Like, yeah, you know my dad. Yeah.
Oh, you so-and-so son.
Yeah. Like, if I needed to get in contact with somebody,
yeah.
You know so-and-so.
Wait.
That's I know this person that know that person. So that's how I got my. I had a job on campus recording sports games.
Oh.
And so my dad was like, I know this person. They looking for this, and I did stuff like that in the church anyway. So
okay, fine. That's how
he was like, "This is my son."
Bada
boom, bada bing. I'm set up in that.
Facts.
Damn, what was the question?
You was talking about your first impression.
So again, my dad working there, like ever since I was young, like every once in a while, bring your child to work there. He would bring us, if he needed to pick up something from the office,
facts.
he would bring me and my siblings. So the campus itself, I was familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like college vibe, that's where kind of I was taken aback a little bit. Because again, my high school, or Black Fro, Rowan, PWI. I started with my boy from high school
at Rowan.
At Rowan.
Okay.
Me and him roomed together, all that. But really, it was like, and even orientation week, straight orientation week, we was grouped up by majors and stuff like that.
What was your major?
Biology. My major was biology. We was grouped up by majors, and I'm looking around the circle. There's like three of us. There was three black people. I'm like, it's my crowd right here. I already knew it.
That's tough. I feel like when my first impression at CCNJ, so I got accepted into this thing called the EOF program. So I'm lying. I'm lying. Before I got into the EOF program, there was this program called like First. So it was like if you were a bio major, you had good grades, and you wanted to come over this summer to like get your feet wet with like take some courses. Mm-hmm. So I'm still like this still overachiever me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come down there summer like da. Later on, I was able to get EOF, but at the time, I wasn't EOF. So I'm there. I'm taking these summer courses, and mind you, I'm coming from like a small high school, right? Where everybody looks like me. Everybody's like, mad diverse. Where it's like I'm the big fish in a small pond for in high school. Like 4.0 GPA, doing my thing, sports, like valid. And I get to college. And I started getting C's. I'm getting tight. It's like, this is crazy. Like, and then the whole social aspect was tough. Like, that was really like the big culture shock, I feel like, for me. Like, leaving Paterson and then going to this school out in the like burbs, like where it's like deers walking around. Like, I'm like, this is.
I ain't never seen that.
I ain't never seen that like this before. And then facts, and then like. I feel like in high school, did you study in high school? Like looking back, I'm like, did I even I don't think we studied like in high school for us. So this is the first time where it was like that I'm struggling, struggling. What was your first time where it got like real for you in college?
Real for me in college, I would say Gen Chem.
Gen Chem?
First semester.
Uh-huh.
And I had taken chemistry in high school, for real. And I liked my chemistry professor in high school. He was cool peoples. I get to chemistry, Gen Chem 1 in college, and I think it was like first week, first month, yada. She talking something crazy. She was talking about some, and I'm gonna admit it now, but for the longest, I didn't know what nomenclature meant. I was scared to look it up.
Nomenclature,
bro. Dang, I don't remember what else they was saying.
She said, y'all all familiar with nomenclature, right? You like, yup.
They was like, yeah, the nomenclature, this, that, and third.
Yeah.
All right. Truncation.
Okay.
She would say, we would truncate this, truncate that.
And you like,
I know what that meant.
Right.
So, but nobody else is asking the question, so I was like, I ain't going to ask you.
You know what I mean? Look crazy.
So I'm like, I feel like that's low key when it started to feel like, I'm like, yo, like, nah, I don't know what it is. I ain't stupid.
Nah, facts.
But I don't know what they talking about. You know what I mean?
You were saying to me before though, like there were some kids though who came in like knowing this stuff already, like they were on it for
nah, facts. Like I said, well, one, wasn't nobody asking no questions like what's truncation mean. Word. Two, I think I met some boy back then. He was like, yeah, I went to whatchamacallit, what's some 2-year college. I got my associate in chemistry.
Word.
I'm just here for the credits.
That's
so
crazy.
he had like the degree to be a chemistry teacher. I was like, bro, why you here?
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean?
For real.
So yeah, nah, it started to get real there.
Nah, I feel like that's the first part. That's the first time where like imposter syndrome kind of sinks in. Like like maybe this like. I don't know if this for me or this is where I belong. Like, especially going so far away from home. Like, that was the thing I had to deal with. I think the most was trying to integrate myself in the campus and make new friends and not call a home and say, yo, what we on tonight? Like, feel me? Like, that was my hardest part. Because I was like, I ain't trying to be friends with these people. Like, I'm trying to go back home for real. You know what I mean? But I think once I started to really be like, all right, now I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? I might as well be here. That's when things started to get a little better. Did you ever feel like, dang, like I'm selling out a little bit
to the hood?
Did you a little bit? Like, did you ever feel like guilty about like moving away far? I mean, because my college was far from home.
Too far.
No,
I live like 40 minutes from my.
Okay.
It was like 40 minutes. I feel like a sellout.
Or not, maybe not a sellout. Did you ever feel guilty, like dang, like I got some homies that I'm leaving behind that like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like a part of me was like I don't know. One, I felt alone because I'm like it's just me, and then two, I'm like I am leaving a couple of the homies back like after like, and now we're not talking as much as I'm in my books. You know what I mean? So it probably I was worried that it'd come off as like. Forget y'all, I'm going like that was my fear.
I mean, to a certain extent, yes. Yeah. But I feel like down the road, like college put me in a mindset of like I don't want to say outgrowing my town, but like just realizing that like it's more to my town.
More to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like that's an important part though, that exposure to like, and that's probably what it was, like not being exposed to outside of just Paterson as a kid. So the first time that you do, and it's like, this you live in here now, like this college is home. It felt crazy, like dag, like the homie's not here, the friend's not here, the shorty's not here, like it really felt crazy. Did you ever find that like the environment, like social, like student wise, was crazy being a bio major? Because you were a pre-med too at the time.
Yeah, so I went into it being physical therapy, so I wasn't even thinking about medicine at the time. Well, medical school,
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still a health profession, but I would say it was a little cutthroat.
Yeah.
Like
cutthroat how? Like throwing your notes in the ground, cutthroat like.
Nah, I mean I would say like everybody was like in their bubble.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like people was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You ask for help. Oh, you should
know
that. I'm in the same boat. Might as well.
Mind you, they just got 100 on the last test. How you in the same boat as me?
Like be doing like lab experiments and it's like, yo, how you get this? How you got that?
Yo, I'm done. Oh my gosh. I used to hate that. Especially when like when those students who are like getting hundreds or getting A's pretend like they don't know it. Like you do know, just tell me. Like for me, like or just like I don't know.
So you hogging the info, okay?
Nah, for real, like not even I know like cheating thing, but just like in the point of like, let's say we talking about something, And I don't know. It was just like, just say it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I was being a hater when I was in college.
Maybe I was being a hater.
But because part of me was real competitive. I feel like a lot of premeds are competitive.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts.
I feel like a lot of, yeah.
Nah, that's facts. Again, because it's like, intrinsically, you kind of feel like you are competing.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know, and certain people might be thinking like too far down the road, like, oh, I need to have this GPA. I need to have this, that, and the third. To be competitive for medical school. I'm only a freshman, but I'm thinking that far.
Yeah.
This guy trying to go for the same thing as me.
Yeah.
Why help him? He might take my spot in 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, in fact, I feel like that'd be the feeling for a lot of people. But I feel like it makes the environment, it makes it harder, it makes it a little bit toxic. Like, especially if you're black and you're going to a PWI where it's like, because now you gotta try to find your group, your core, like friends that you got that's pre-med. Because I feel like that's really what like held me down or kept me like sane for real. Like having a core group of friends as a pre-med who I was like, all right, this is who I study with, this is who I chill with. Like, forget what everybody else doing. Like, in fact, did you have that too?
Yeah, not facts. Yeah, like from like, again, even from orientation.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time I was like, nah, I found my peoples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a program over at Rowan called MAPS, or Minority Association of Premedical Students. So I was involved in that, and that's where I found a lot of my peoples too.
Yeah.
And that became like my cohort, you know what I mean? Like
Facts.
we would study together, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what class you taking? Oh, I'm gonna try and take that too, or something like that. So like we was coordinating a lot within there. So I feel like that's where like my like comfortability and like familiarity came into play. Like finding other people that was like not as cutthroat. Because again, at the end of the day, we all competing. But again, just because I'm competing for something competitive and you doing the same thing, don't mean I gotta kick you out to the woods.
And and just because like you getting blessed don't mean I'm not getting. You know what I mean?
Everybody eat. Everybody should eat.
Everybody, like we all gonna like all gonna get there. Like you doing good don't mean I'm not doing good, or don't mean I'm not gonna be able to do good, or I can't do good. Like I feel like at a certain point you gotta kind of think of it like fat. They just got that too. Oh, I mean I can get it too. Like, or I mean I can get that scholarship too.
I got this, little bro. Let me put you on game.
Facts. I feel like that's how it should. Especially I think as a black man, you need that kind of like we were saying, like that kind of group, that friendship where y'all all like even if you're not on the same pre-med, y'all both just like trying to get to a certain spot to kind of support each other. But in fact, did you ever? Well, you talked about it, I think a little bit like when you went to that. What was she? Not the guidance counselor.
Oh, my pre-health advisor.
Your pre-health advisor. Was that the first time something like that ever happened to you? Or was that the first time?
Yeah, because again, I would say in high school, again, everybody was black, even the teachers.
Yeah.
So my guidance counselors, teachers, they was all black. And again, I was in all honors classes at that point. So it was like, I don't want to say like people was already like, oh nah, Zay, you got this. Like I know you got this. But in college, it was the first time where I don't really stick out. You know what I mean? In a school like my high school, it's 180 of us in my class alone. I could stick out.
Facts.
PWI, or not even just because of the PWI, in college, my class is like 6,000 people. You know what I mean? So I'm not really sticking out no more.
Facts.
So I feel like that was facts. That was like one of the first times where it was like, a guidance counselor, somebody like higher up, like, nah, you can't do that.
Well, you told me before too. Like then I think you wanted to do, because you thought about being DO.
Oh yeah.
And then what did they say to you?
Shorty was like, DO.
Put some respect on DOs, man. DOs got it too.
Nah, DOs are tough. And again, one of the reasons why I wanted to be a DO originally was again because of my background of wanting to do PT and DOs. For those that don't know, again, you go into medical school, you still get beat, you still got that DR, in front of your name, doctor. People respect you. To the layperson, it don't really matter. In the medical community, that's where the little divide comes in. But DOs, like, they get like 400 hours of manipulative medicine. So like moving the body, doing stretches and doing like, you know, palpations and certain things that like should help the body treat itself without medicine. And I was like, that's cool. Along the lines of PT. Yeah. I told my advisor that. She was like, why would you go DO? It's because, you know, I like the manipulative part of it. You don't think you could, you don't think you good? I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It was just this real stigmatism towards it.
Facts. I feel like as a pre-med, like with whatever you want to do, you're gonna get that a lot. Like wanting to do something, but then someone else having a certain idea about it or opinion about it. But at some point, you kind of just gotta like not be stubborn with it. I mean, it's cool to take advice, but if you know you're passionate about something and you know like this for me, like, cause I feel like thank God this never happened to me, but I know friends who've like they've been pre-med and they've met with like pre-med advisors who like looked at their transcript and was like, yeah, you might have to take about 2-3 gap years. Like, and I'm like, feel me? And that kind of discourages them. Now, like, okay, now I don't want to apply to med school. So I feel that's something you gotta like just be. I don't know. It's like stick to your plan. Like, you know what I mean? Be like, if you're passionate about it, stick with it. Because I had an advisor tell me like, yeah, I think you should take a gap year. I'm not taking a gap year. Like, I'm not doing like, and it wasn't not even because like I felt like it meant anything, but I kind of just wanted to get started. Like when I was younger, like I used to be like, yo, I can't wait till I'm like just in my profession, in my field, like really doing what I need to be doing. Because in college, you're not really focused. None of it's med focused. Like it's a bunch of random. Do we use Orgo?
No.
I can't tell you what like we don't use Orgo. Like we don't use Orgo. Physics.
Everything revolves around
physics. But I don't need to know work equals force time distance to, you know what I mean, to figure out this question. So in college, you kind of are just like going through the mud for as a black pre-med or as a pre-med in general, kind of to get before you get to med school. But specifically, like as a black pre-med, one of the things that I think y'all should do, or one of the things that we did, was like finding opportunities like during the summer for real. What were some things you did over the summer?
So I feel like it's going to get plugged a lot, but one of the programs that we did over the summer was this program over at Cooper that was geared towards like like minorities and stuff like that, like trying to pursue medicine. It was like a 6-week program, you know what I mean? And we took like many classes, so we would take like biochem, we would take like what else? Like regular chem, we would take anatomy, you know what I mean? There was other like facets of it, like shadowing, like cadaver lab, stuff like that. So that was 6 weeks of my summer.
Well, we got a check from it, feel me?
Yeah, nah, we did.
Summer programs, find a summer program, bro, with a stipend, get you some bread, feel me, and chill, like, feel me, chill.
Yeah, but outside of that, I was either working or just enjoying life, you feel me?
Yeah. Now, I feel like summer programs are definitely like important, especially if you're pre-med and you're trying to like make your application look as good as you want it to be. And there are specific summer programs for, like we said, underrepresented in medicine. So you definitely got like, I think like use that like to your advantage and apply to those kind of programs. So facts, there are a lot out there. But so low key a little bit on that, like I feel like after we did post that first year, right? That first summer, freshman summer. Going back to school, now we're taking like Orgo for real. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for Orgo. Like, and then I see people start dropping like the class. I'm like, it's looking crazy. Like, and then you start hearing like professors just be like, yeah, this the weed out class for like we gonna see who really like. Did your professors at your school ever like refer to those classes as like weed out classes?
Generally, yes. Not like professors, but I would say like generally
that was the consensus. Like
in like college, within the bio major, like Orgo Def Facts was one of the weed out classes. Biochem was kind of one of the weed out classes. Physics, kind of one of the weed out classes. Now, I guess I was blessed to say my Orgo specifically didn't really say that. My orgo professor, was a black lady.
That's tough.
You feel me?
Shout out to her.
Facts. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I really did like orgo. And again, one, I felt like I connected with her. Two, and the way she taught to me, some people didn't like it. It was like a flip type lecture type thing. But
I like flip. We did. So flip lecture was like when you watch the recording prior and then you get to class and you practice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that really helped me. So I'm like, facts.
Word.
But again, I feel like her herself was like very like opening and welcoming. So her specifically, never really referred to it. But again, within the bio community, facts.
See, I feel like that's so toxic. Like even the idea of like, this is a weed out class. Like, some of y'all ain't gonna make it through this. Especially when it's like, when you are black, right, and you're trying to pursue medicine, when you already know this field's gonna it only gets harder from here.
It do.
And then you hear professors talking about like, this the part. I feel like it play in the minds of some people. Like it kind of takes away from their confidence, for real. So how did you overcome that? Like not being like, not dropping the class or letting that be one of the weed out classes for you?
Again, so a little bit, not biased, but I liked orgo. Hence, and again, not even just because of the professor, but because of the way I thought about it. And so I knew that it was a hard class. Like I knew the way everybody was talking about it. You know, it was a hard class. So I would go out and try and like find help. You know what I mean? Whether it was going to my professor's open office or open office hours. Going to tutoring, finding like extra little resources and stuff like that. I kind of made it my initiative to like, not make it as hard. And again, then through that, I don't know, maybe that's kind of what my love for orgo came in, because I just thought of it as a puzzle.
He said loving orgo, not loving basketball, loving orgo.
But I really just thought about it as a puzzle to a certain extent. So, but even outside of that, I feel like just in general, like with weed out classes, it just comes down to like, I got this, you know what I mean? I might have to put in a little bit more work, but be tried and true to your resources, to your study methods, you know what I mean, and just thug it out.
I could second that. Like definitely being resourceful, like that's a skill at some point. Like even like now in medical school, you gotta be able to go out and get that help you need, because it's not gonna always come to you. Like somebody not always gonna be like Zay, how you doing? You need help with this question? You know what I mean? You gotta be okay, who do I know? Are there tutors? Okay, what tutors can I go to? What's my support system? Like, and for me, my support system was EOF at college. So EOF is Equal Opportunity Fund. It's something that's only in Jersey, but there's different versions of it other places, but specifically for EOF, it's a Jersey thing. And they put bread towards your towards college. They pay for a lot of stuff. They pay for dorms, fully. I'm not gonna lie, dorms, whatever tuition gap you got, like you can even get refunds from it for. But other than just financial, like it was like a real like family low key too, where it's like, yo, I'm having a bad day. Like let me go into so and so office and just vent real quick. Like so for me, like the EOF program, the EOF office, like that was kind of like how I feel like was able to overcome those kind of like struggles or barriers, like times where it can get discouraging and things like that. So I feel like, honestly, we saying like a lot of what we saying is like being a black Premed, the biggest thing is like finding support where you at for
facts.
Whether it be your friends, whether it be tutors, facts, and not letting go of what's at home, but just because you were saying like just getting out of that bubble for
I feel like everybody needs to get out that bubble, because it's more than what's outside of your town. Or there's more than what's inside your town. You know what I mean? There's stuff outside. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Experiences, people to meet. You know what I mean?
And the people from back home gonna always be there. You know what I mean? But
facts.
And it's like, I mean, this is me like giving advice now, looking back. Like I said, I think part of me was a little bit guilty about going away, just because I was like, I wish I could bring all of them. Like, you know what I mean?
You can always go back though.
You could always go back and be that like role model leader and help out and still like be true. Like you don't gotta like, just because you on these college campuses don't mean you gotta switch up and start talking different. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, honestly, I feel like what we're really trying to say is being a black Premed, man, be true to yourself, find your support systems, don't feel bad about being where you are, and don't let nobody discourage you from what you're gonna do, because you're gonna have some people who like his advice that's gonna be like, nah, you probably shouldn't do that, but you gotta just, like you were saying, like keep your values and everything like that. So with that in mind, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever college you at and you're a pre-med, man, drop it down below. We'd love to hear about.
Or were you applying to?
Or were you applying to?
What you looking at?
What you looking at? If you got any questions, let us know. We'll get back to it. And as always, if you got a favorite Bible verse or just something that's encouraging, drop it down in the comments below, and you never know how it can help. In fact, follow us on IG at Black in Medicine. And TikTok, what's your TikTok?
Oh, king.zx, so kxng.zx.
Where we're gonna put all this in the thing, but that's a wrap.